Characteristics that define a low-status man. Number 1. His emotional intelligence is low. Emotional intelligence is responsible for 80% of life success. I'm not a big fan of quantifying things that are difficult to measure. However, emotional intelligence contributes significantly to life success and fulfillment. Men with low emotional intelligence have erratic behavior, jump from one thing to the next, fail to accumulate resources and power, and fail to rise through the dominance hierarchy. They don't take their own path and instead look to others for guidance. They rarely work on their own projects and instead look for work. Number 2. He lacks motivation and purpose. You end up working for those who do have a goal if you don't have one. That is correct. While working for someone else isn't necessarily a sign of poor quality, accepting whatever comes your way with no preference and no desire to improve is. When low sex drive is combined with a lack of life purpose, goals, and motivation, the result is a human plant. Because low-value men lack personal motivation, they have few passions and achieve few personal goals. They may, however, remain passionate about something and seek out victories. What are their methods? By vicariously living. Low-worth men are passionate about things, goals, and dreams that are either irrelevant to their lives or beyond their control. Being so devoted to a team that one's own ego and pride become entwined with it is a good example. Low worth when their teams win, or when his favorite rapper's new song hit comes out, men feel like they've won. As a result, instead of working on their own, they spend their money, time, and effort watching and promoting other people's lives. Number 3. Big ego. Cocky is a term that describes someone who has a large ego and is skilled. Delusional means having a big ego but no skills. A large ego is insufficient to consign a man to the ranks of social outcasts. When a big ego isn't matched by skills, competence, and results, the situation becomes tragic. Then you get a big balloon of hot air, which people always try to avoid. Men with a fixed mindset are low quality because they do not grow over time, are constantly defensive, and are touchy and vindictive. Number 4. Doesn't care about much at all. It's fashionable these days to say I don't care, most of the time. However, it's a defensive mechanism used to appear superior. A low-value man is unconcerned about the very things that could elevate his status. Of course, he doesn't give a damn about his appearance. He's fine with being overweight, wearing ill-fitting clothing, and appearing disheveled. Number 5. He is a submissive pushover. Climbing to the top requires some assertiveness and, in some cases, the ability to be aggressive. So nice guys rarely become top-quality men. Still, being a nice guy does not automatically make a man a low-value man. Excessively nice guys, on the other hand, are low-value men. That's because a lot of overly nice guys aren't actually nice, they're just scared. A passive, low-value man lacks the strength and courage to speak his mind. He uses passive aggression rather than direct communication when he is unhappy. Low-value pushovers also have a disproportionate respect for authority. They obey orders and use brown nose as a survival strategy because it makes them feel safe and keeps them out of trouble. Number 6. Neediness around women. Low-value men have a hard time attracting women. They develop one-itis, white knight women, chase women, or are simply too afraid to engage in meaningful conversation with women. They have a scarcity mentality in general. Giving a woman unnaturally high attention or seeking women who make them feel stronger can both be signs of low worth. Low-value men either don't play games because they don't know how, or they play a lot of mind games because they don't think they're good enough. Number 7. There are no internal references. High-quality men value their own opinions over the opinions of strangers. Their standards are high, and they have chosen their system of values, so they will not be made to feel bad about their decisions by random people. This is about controlling one's own emotions, which is one of the basic laws of power, and not allowing others to judge you. See soft power. Men of poor quality are the polar opposite. They don't value their opinions, they follow fads, and they let groups decide what is good and bad for them. Most importantly, they only feel good when others allow them to. Negative feedback, a poor performance, and a disapproving look all deflate his self-esteem. His ego is based on being liked, being good, and a few other inherently vulnerable characteristics. He also surrenders control over his emotions. To gain acceptance, he follows the rules of others. Low self-esteem frequently leads to fakeness. Low-value men are deceitful because they do not believe that simply being themselves is sufficient. As a result, they don various masks to conceal what they perceive to be major flaws that would turn people away from them. And they acquire the masks that various social groups want them to wear. Number 8. Believes he has little control over anything. The locus of control refers to how much people believe they have control over their lives. Whether you feel like the man at the helm of your life or a castaway in a rudderless lifeboat is determined by your locus of control. The two types of loci of control are as follows. People with an external locus of control, according to Brian Tracy, feel helpless, are sadder, get angry more easily, and are more prone to depression. People with an external locus of control are more likely to fall into learned helplessness after just a few failed attempts at whatever task they're working on. According to psychologist Martin Seligman, people with an internal locus of control, on the other hand, are confident, energetic, and optimistic. They're even more nutritious. The locus of control for low-value men is external. You believe you have control over your life if you have an internal locus of control. You believe random events determine the course of your life, and that you have no control over them if you have an external locus of control.